What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and as you can probably tell with the title or maybe the thumbnail, we're doing another rebuild challenge. This time, we're doing a fantasy draft rebuild, but we will only be drafting defensive players. I don't know what I want to do with the excess players because, of course, there's a good chance we're going to have duplicates that are pretty decent and tradable on defense, which we could trade for offensive players. We do know that it isn't super easy to trade for certain players, so I don't know how cheese I want to do it yet. We'll see. We'll see what we do. But, of course, we do kind of have to start the draft and pick 22. Jeez. I really hope we get 22 likes on the video and subscribers. That's actually not super crazy, but at the same time, lately with the way Madden views have been going, and not the easiest thing in the world either. Looking at what is here, I'm not going to lie, it's not great. I really wish Mac was there for us because he would have totally been worth it. I don't know if I consider J.J. Watt worth it. 30 years old. That's kind of old. All right, I'll be honest. We could go for Fletcher Cox, 28 years old. He is kind of a beast. Do have Myles Garrett as well, who usually puts up big numbers. I really wish I had my damn my list of players for this, but I do not. So I do not know when anyone goes. I can't really remember. Marlon Humphrey, though, we should go corner early. We definitely need to go for some sort of decent corner early, like Marlon. Marlon be slick. Oh, that could be our pick. I think we actually have Marlon Humphrey going like pick, I don't even know, like 28, I think it is. So I think I am actually going to go with Marlon Humphrey here. I think it's a good... Ooh. Derwin James, though. X Factor. Could put him at corner if we wanted. 84-man, 84 zone compared to Marlon's... That's not Marlon at all. Marlon's 90-man, 83 zone. That's tough because Derwin is an X. I think we're going to cheese it. We're going Derwin James. Going to put him at corner. Sleazing up. As far as corners go, we still do have options like Desmond King, 24 years old, very young still. Looking at the rest of the positions, though, I think Derwin would have been gone already, like we said, so I'm glad we did take him. Pass rusher would be nice here. Is Myles... Ooh, Myles Garrett is still there. I don't know. I think we have Myles at like a late second-round pick. Nah, we can't risk him. Great pass rusher like Myles is very hard to come by. Now it's the 22nd pick here with Von Miller. He's 30. Don't get me wrong, he is old. But he looks beastly. I don't know. I do not know. That is a hard man to pass up on. Marshawn Lattimore's there, so is Denzel Ward. We do have Deion Jones. Eric Kendricks is actually a really high overall, by the way. Interesting. We don't really need that many pass rushers, so I might actually kind of chill out on that real quick. I think we're going to go for Denzel Ward. I think that's going to be our guy. Mr. Denzel Ward it is. Von Miller just went right before us there. I don't know if he would have been on my list, but yeah, I'm glad we went for corner because you can see here it is like gone. But we have our number 1 and number 2, so I'm good with that. Eddie Jackson could be on the old mind here. Tyron a little too old for my liking. Deion Jones, maybe? Ooh, Deion's there. I think we're going Deion Jones here. Just making sure there's not anyone better here. There are some good defenders. Yeah, let's go Deion Jones. I think we're going to take Grady Jarrett here with our, 5th round pick? 26 years old. Pretty baller. I think Roquan would have went like right there. So, yeah, we have Jalen Smith and Edmonds. We have actually a couple of decent names here. Ooh, DeForest is still there. This is tough because obviously we're going to have a lot of duplicates. So it's really all about, like, who do you think is worth taking and when? And honestly, with these pass rushers being gone, I think we maybe made a little bit of a mistake. Tyron's still there. Amos, is Amos 25 or 26? 26. He's not much younger than Tyrann Mathieu, who's obviously a beast. Tyrann Mathieu's good. If we can get him to superstar, that would be clutch. I think we're going for the overall. Tyrann Mathieu, 27 years old. Safety should last a little bit longer. We just need to get him to superstar, and he's good. I know this is kind of cheese because he's not supposed to be in normal development, but I seen Chase Young. It's a fun name. We're going to put him at superstar development, but yeah, it is kind of cheese because if he was superstar, he would have probably went within the first, like, 5 rounds. But it is what it is. Who cares? Do I really... I mean, do I have to defend myself? Like, come on. It's already a tough enough challenge the way it is. Let me be. And honestly, I think Myles Jack is going to be my guy. Of course, there's Isaiah Simmons, who you can maybe make the argument for X Factor, or Superstar, or Star. But I'm just going to take Myles Jack, take the safe bet. I think we're going to take Matthew Ioannidis as our backup DT. And by backup, we mean he's going to start. We're going to play a 4-3, as we always do. We're going to take Isaiah Simmons as a fun little pick. Will we put him at superstar? I don't know. We're definitely going to put him at least at star, but superstar for this one, that's a little cheese. I don't know. I think it's time for Jabril Peppers to join the team. 23 years old. Good player. Could play corner if he has to, but probably will play safety. Like I said, I have zero idea what I'm going to allow, but Geno Atkins could be some decent trade bait. He's an X Factor. Once again, I don't know what we're going to allow, but we'll trade him. I don't think we'll allow any quarterback trades. I think we're going to rock with a low overall free agent. We're going to go Grant Delpit, put him at star. Dexter Lawrence, that's a pretty good value pick, I think. We're taking Willie Gay now. I'm going to try to stop cheesing the youngsters, because of course, no, this is kind of weird. Of course, you know, we're upping their dev when the AI has no knowledge of this stuff. But now at this point, I think we're just going to sim. Well, I mean, I'm not going to sim. I'm going to watch. That's weird to say as well. We're going to grab players that we can maybe get trade value off of. I will allow kicker and punter. I know. Leave me alone. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Now what we will be doing is going for our starters on offense. We're going to choose very low overall players. Should we allow developable guys? Like, it's not going to matter, but we're going to go for Tyree Jackson. We've never seen him actually become a beast. I don't think that'll happen here, but maybe. I don't know. Probably looking to replace pretty much every one of these guys almost instantly. But yeah, I think we're going to make it where we can go for any player that's under 61 overall. I cannot go for anyone under 60 overall because I cannot see them. Yeah, under 61 overall, I think we'll allow. Once again, if we can even find that. So we finish a draft, and something looks real interesting there. That overall is kind of interesting. Of course, it's something. The lowest overall wide receivers we could go for were EQ, Keenan Doss. Is this Keenan? Keelan? It is Keelan. I knew it was Keelan Doss. Vincent Smith. Some really low names that just probably won't dev. Maybe there's a chance, you know, one of these guys gets focused and gets a dev up and maybe is like our backup or number 3 wide receiver in a few years' time. But as far as the offense goes, yeah, it needs to be replaced instantly. Defensively, though, pretty talented. Of course, we got to change some devs and ultimately make some trades, see what we can do to make this team as good as possible on offense. Once again, I don't want to cheese it too hard, so we'll see. Certain positions will allow maybe a wide receiver, running back, QB. I don't think we should allow a trade of, even if we could, to be honest. You know, unless the quarterback's normal dev, very unlikely to get a trade off anyways. We all know after a fantasy draft, it is very hard to make a trade. Like I said, I don't even know if we're going to get any trade. Look, I mean, look at this. I don't even know what I just said. Yeah, mistakes were maybe kind of made. We trade Wilkins in a 4th round for the Vikings' 1st round pick. They don't have a good QB, but they do have a couple of good wide receivers, so we'll see how that goes. Of course, we're definitely keeping our own pick. Got to make sure we have our own, because that's probably going to be pick number 1. If it's not, that'd be kind of surprising, because, you know, all we have is defensive players and a left guard. We trade Lawrence in a 3rd round for the 1st round pick from the Dolphins, which is projected number 1 overall, apparently. We trade the Packers our 5th round pick, Jabril Peppers and Andy Lee, for pick 17. They might have the worst drafted team outside of, you know, challenge rebuild teams I've ever seen in a fantasy draft. Like, it is atrocious. It sucks we only got 1 player, but do you have anything else we could trade off, maybe? Blake Cashman, perhaps? Anyone else? Oliver isn't tradable for some reason. Yeah, we'll try to trade Cashman for something. Probably won't get anything, though. Blake Cashman, a 5th round pick, and Oliver for the Patriots pick 32 projection. Of course, we'll have to change the team around and fill the backup spots with players, but overall, I think we have our roster. All right, head to the postseason. Do you think we did it? No, we didn't. We were 4-12. However, we did win 4 games. That's something you can't just completely overlook. We won against the Bucs, we won against the Seahawks, won against the Ravens, and we won against the Rams. So we actually took one on everyone but the Cardinals, I believe. Not a great division in general, so that could definitely benefit us in the future. Tyree Jackson, not a bad season at all, considering there is literally like no talent around here at all. Keelan Doss was all pretty decent, actually. Equinemius St. Brown was decent, but nothing really special. Looking at the offensive line, as far as offensive line numbers go, I mean, those guys are 60 overalls outside of James Daniels, so pretty good, I suppose. 3 guys over 100 tackles is where, the numbers matter the most. Myles Garrett with 15 sacks, 8.5 for Grady Jarrett. Chase Young with a very disappointing 5.5. Looking at the pick totals, nothing really great there either. And then kicking, Tucker only missed 1 out of 15 kicks. Looking at the awards, of course, we'll have nothing for the offensive side, but defensive side, Myles Garrett at number 5. Offensive Rookie of the Year, in fairness, Tyree at number 4. Defensive Rookie of the Year, no. Let's ignore all that. We're not going to have any offensive stuff. Myles Garrett, number 2 for D-line. Linebacker, no. DB, no. And then kicker, we did have the best kicker, but none of that really matters too much. Let's go on to the Super Bowl, see who wins it, and also see if we had any dev-ups, maybe some defenders, maybe even Tyree Jackson. Doubt it, but you never know. Super Bowl is between the Packers and the Chargers. Chargers win. I do not know how the Packers made it to the playoffs. We went for their draft pick because this is what their team looks like. Drew Lock, Damian Williams. I mean, these are not great players. This offense is terrible, yet made it to the postseason somehow. That's wonderful for our draft picks. As far as re-signings go, we actually are pretty much going to let go of some of our offensive starters like EQ and some other guys. $85 million to work with, which basically means we're not going to have a chance to, of course, get any players in free agency because everyone's going to have that money. But here are the free agents. We will allow ourselves to go for free agents, but the question is, will we want to? Looking at these names, I don't like any of those running backs to actually start. However, Ito Smith I've never tried before. This is kind of a fantasy, so we're going to try to offer him a super lowball deal and just, probably not get it, but you never know. We get Chase Claypool, who might be our number 1 wide receiver coming out of the draft. So we have a couple of really high picks, one of them being pick number 2, and that was our quarterback. However, there is a second quarterback. Bryson Emmanuel was, pick number 1. Our second quarterback is Levi Owens, who looks really good too, but just wasn't as good. He is a late first, though, so we can wait. Our highest pick, I believe, I didn't look at any defender. Maybe I should have, but our highest pick now, I would believe, is the wide receiver, Mr. Angel Benjamin. A little bit more of a risk because he's a bigger guy with, bad 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle, but I think he's going to be worth the pick. However, I think we should probably trade to pick like 8 or so because ultimately, pick 2 is not needed at all. It's too high. The good old days of fantasy trading. It's pick 2 for 7 this, 39 this, and then a first round next year from the Broncos. What are they going to take? Dallas Bush. I mean, it looks like a good player. I don't know, what would have been the next pick, but Giants probably bust. Rams probably bust. Let's take our wide receiver now, Mr. Angel Benjamin. Tall guy. Please be hidden. And, okay, so 73 overall. Says he was ranked 15 in True Talent, so it says we reached, but obviously a really solid player, jump ball kind of guy. I will take it. So as far as the next draft picks go, we have a lot of late first, early second guys. I think we're going to try to trade these down to like, I don't know, maybe pick 16 or so then we could just trade up as much as we possibly need. I don't even know how much of a win this was for us, but pick 7, our center, and pick 75 for 15 and 57 this year. And they drafted an absolute bust. This is still a little high for my liking, man. I didn't even have this guy on my list, but he looks pretty good. What about this guy? I don't know. Both of those guys look pretty good to me. We're going to go Matthew Beck. And he looks very good. 78 overall hidden. I have no idea why he wasn't on my list, but I'm glad I didn't feel like we could trade down from 9 properly, because that is a steal. As far as other players go, the quarterback position is easily the most important, so we are going to take our quarterback. 74 overall hidden, only 1 overall less than Emmanuel, who was taken 1 overall, so obviously it depends on what the dev is. Our guy could be star, he could be like X Factor, or hell, vice versa if we're really lucky. We have pick 17 and now pick 31 afterwards. What do we have left? We have 2 more linemen. I think this lineman is a must-grab player. Darian Overton, late first. Okay, 71. Ooh. He's normal development, but he is absolutely disgustingly good. Starter out the gate, just kind of unfortunate dev. As far as our next picks go, this tight end is a must-have player because, of course, tight end is very hard to get. We also have Leon Armstead, who I might be willing to take a risk on. And then we still have Cameron Butler and Max Cox. Yes, Max Cox. He's got maximum of that nature. What do you want? Damn, Cameron Butler goes right here. That sucks. I don't know why I risked it at all, but here we are after, the aftermath. We trade 43 next year, 39 this year in Prince to move up to 21, which I believe will be the running back, Mr. Max Cox. Yes, Max Cox. And it was a very good player, 75 overall hidden, pretty damn fast. Yeah, I mean, day 1 starter. Yeah, we're kind of killing the draft right now. Of course, we lost Butler, which was kind of a big deal, but still, really good players. I think the tight end, being as hard as it is to get a good tight end, is probably our highest on the list. Question is, do we really want him? Because he's not that great. Yeah, we don't really have a starting tight end. Oh! Okay, this is a steal. Of course, he is kind of raw. That overall is kind of misleading. Honestly, if you look at him, he's not as good as that overall says, in my opinion. But he looks very good. Really hope our wide receiver's there. Maybe we should have actually traded up again. You gotta be kidding me. I don't know what 71 overall gets you. So maybe he's not actually good at all. But really, right before our pick. Thanks, Ravens. We trade 45 and a 6 next for 71 and 93, which I'm thinking if we want to go for Barton or not. He looks pretty good. If he's an early 4th, I think we might actually take him right here. Matthew Barton, he's a late 4th. I'm still going to just take him right here. Looks really good. And he is. Okay, now, once again, another non-hidden 76 overall lineman, but very good. Regardless, very good player. Now, we landed almost an entire offense in one draft. Let that sink in. Almost an entire offense. And we still have 2 more linemen, which we will most likely be trading down to get to. So the other guy goes, but Brad Rubin is still here. We'll take him, and it's another normal development guy, but, I mean, he's all right. He's probably not going to start, which is kind of a good sign at this point, because that means we've actually drafted enough great players to not need him to start, but, yeah, I mean, this is, obviously, they could all be star development, but who should we go for? Really good combine. Now we'll go for the combine. 66 overall, normal. Nah. But yeah, I mean, obviously they could all be star, but if any of these guys are superstar, even like 1 or 2, that would be clutch. Take a look at the draft recap. Our first player was it was wide receiver. Angel Benjamin, obviously number 1 wide receiver right out the gate just because of the development of a hidden or better. I said hidden or better. Star or better. Superstar X Factor. Okay, I mean, as far as our first hidden wide receiver goes, you can't really, you literally can't do better than that, Dev. Matthew Beck, star development, that's perfectly fine. He's absolutely insane. Levi Owens, which, of course, we're going to compare to the number 1 guy, has... Oh, that's fine. Superstar is fine. I hope the other guy has star and make us look like a god. Overton, yeah, or Overton was normal. Max Cox. Okay, dude. Maximum Cock is star development. I wish he was superstar better, but totally fine. Works for me, and we completely missed the position. Mr. Jalen Nash, the final player of the bunch, is only star, unfortunately, but as far as the draft goes, we landed an X Factor and a superstar player, And holy crap, these numbers are disgusting. We got to change them. We do need to change. Take a look at 3 players. One being Mr. Emmanuel. Of course, he is hidden as expected. 21 years old. A little bit weaker, a little bit slower. Take a look at the development. It is... Okay, I mean, it is X Factor, but our guy does have some of those athletic stats that you can't really, you know, teach. So, I don't know. It's not... I mean, it was a good pick, right? Cameron Butler, 77 overall. Oof. Oof. What is that development? Doesn't really matter anyways. He's a great player regardless. Star development. And then for the final player, wide receiver for the Ravens, Armstead. Pick 12 in the 2nd round. And of course he's hidden pretty damn fast too. Let's take a look at his actual development. It is star development, but still, that would have been an amazing starter. Still a really good draft. Let's actually take a look at what the team's overall looks like when we put everyone together. And just like that, we're already an 81 overall, 76 overall offense, just from basically all rookies. Of course, Claypool, 76 overall, 21 years old, probably should be a little bit older than that, but looks pretty solid to me. Looking at Benjamin, obviously we know he's a really good player. A lot of youngsters. Hopefully we can get maybe one dev up in here from maybe Cox. Claypool could be a future number 2. A long term if he has a really good season. So I don't know. I'm just saying this could be a special season. We have 3 signings, but they're all backups, so I honestly don't care. Headed to the playoffs, and surprisingly enough, we did lose actually quite a bit of games near the end, but we went 12-4. We had an amazing season. Like I said, we played really well, and then we lost a few at the end. The division is terrible. It was terrible the first season. It's terrible now. Hey, we kind of lucked out, but then again, doesn't really matter because we kind of earned this spot with this really good season. Levi Owens, probably not good enough for a superstar development up, but as far as rookies go, really good season, maybe Rookie of the Year worthy. I will say, though, I am a little surprised that we won 12 games, considering we really didn't have a lot of touchdowns. We had, like, what, 40 touchdowns? That's got to be near the bottom of the list in the league, right? Receivers, the tight end came up. Jalen Nash could go to superstar. Everyone else, kind of disappointing. O-line, Matthew Beck was really disappointing, considering, you know, outside of James Daniels, he's the best lineman we have. Sack totals, we have really bad numbers, considering, once again, we have an insane defense, easily the best in league, for good reason, because I mean, maybe it's not considered a good reason, because we drafted all defensive players. Like I said, look at this. 27th in offense, 2 in defensive yardage, so... Yeah, you know, kind of surprising that we even did make it where we made it. Looking at the awards, I don't know if we would have won any. Levi Owens, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then Defensive Rookie of the Year, we didn't draft him. You know, once again, we completely ignored the defensive position because, you know, we're pretty much set there. But we're now in the postseason, going to the divisional round. Gotta like it. You know, honestly, further than I would have expected already. 9-7 Vikings, who almost never do well in Sim, whether it's a fantasy draft or not. 85 for them, 85 for us. Can defense win championships, I guess, is the question of the day. All right, we have that bye week. It would be kind of nice to get at least 1 win. Once again, I don't think we're too ready just yet. I mean, we're close. We did really well in the draft, and we're obviously not going to do nearly that well this time because I think we have 1 extra first-round pick, and we do have our own picks for this year, which obviously, as you can see, not looking super hot for us, but in a good way. Excuse me, team. Oh. Okay, making things dramatic, and we almost just lost right there. Defense holds. Offense, you just need a field goal, dude. And wow. Justin Tucker might have just nailed a gigantic kick in the clutch. I think he did. A 57-yarder. What a legend. Nails the thing. Both young quarterbacks really didn't do too well. Max Cox, he's really not showing us much length at all, if we're being honest. Von Miller, 2.5 sacks. Maybe we should have actually drafted him. Justin Tucker did miss 2 kicks, in fairness. Kind of disappointing in that sense, but 5 kicks made. 7 attempts, I think, is definitely the most I've ever seen as far as Sim goes. Let me know if you've ever seen 7 attempts. I think we've seen 6 a few times, but 7. I don't remember a damn thing about when we drafted him, but this is what Levi Owens' ratings look like right now. He's an 84 overall. Looking at the offensive ratings, 80 overall still for offense, 92D, so we're still in an 85 total. The Cowboys, fantasy, non-fantasy, they're always greats, but they are a lower overall than our last opponents, so they have the Cowboys name they're carrying, but we have the, I mean, we do have the Niners name, actually, in fairness. This is actually a titan of a matchup if you really think about it. And I don't like to think about things. That bye week is just so nice because we're already in the championship. We get a nice field goal to start off the game. We get touchdown. Okay, this is a better game than last time for sure. Defense just needs to play as good as they are, really. 17-10 offense. Come on, fellas. I mean, the defense is doing about as much as they can for you. I mean, we're in the Super Bowl already. I mean, this was supposed to be a rebuild challenge. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm challenged for thinking this was going to be a challenge. I don't know what that even... You figure out what that's supposed to mean. Levi Owens, very good game this time. Probably his best game of his career so far. I don't know that it's a long career. Very interesting set of receivers, though. We have a lot of slow guys. In fairness, most of them are very large individuals. But still, no real, like, speed relief player. But a very clean, good game from us. We played really well as a team. We're in the Super Bowl against the Chargers, who I believe also made the Super Bowl last season, if I'm not mistaken. We're an 86 overall now. The development ups of, it would appear, nobody on offense, which is definitely, you know, admittedly a little disappointing. Defensively, we see a very big dev up, 2 of them. The biggest one, obviously, being Mr. Tyrann Mathieu, who is 28 years old with Superstar. That is so clutch because now he should be able to last at least till 30-31, making it a good draft pick. And then, of course, Miles. Did Miles Jack have Superstar last season? He must have went up in Dev last season because I don't remember him being Superstar this. Or was he? No, he wouldn't have been already Superstar. Yeah, but no other Dev ups. That's fine. Really good stuff. Tyrann, very clutch there. All right, here we go. 86 to their 87. No, it's Patrick Mahomes. I remember him being in a Chargers uniform. That's kind of a crime as well, if you really think about it. All right, going to the end of the game. This is clearly a very important one. Really good stuff on defense. Turn it into a touchdown the other way, although they pretty much do the exact same thing to us. This is a very close game so far. I like it. That should have been a field goal. Come on, lads. We're down 10. This is not looking good. Desperately need to score a touchdown on this drive, and somehow they have the ball. Looks like we have lost the game. Yeah, turnover with the pick. Damn, come on, man. We were so close. I thought this was going to be an easy win. Like, man, Patrick Mahomes didn't even play well either, but Levi, 3 interceptions, bro. That's too many. That's just, you're never going to win a game, you know, throwing that many picks. That's pretty much it, and Tucker didn't really help the cause. Of course, he was at least blocked, but that's a damn shame. So you guys wouldn't force any wins either, just for the hell of it. Not that it would make any sense for us, too, because we literally did not win here, so kind of a fail to not get the job done. There you can see, obviously, one game played, and that Chargers game, that's a brutal loss. As far as re-signings go, though, we have that all pretty much settled, so let's move on to free agency, which, you know, we could probably afford a lot of players, which pretty much every team can, so chance of there being any soul here that we would want is very low. I mean, Tajay Sharp, maybe, but, I mean, I don't know if I'm really willing to pay top dollar for him for his dev when, you know, Chase is the better long-term option. Mr. Normal Development Henry Ruggs, looking interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll find someone as we always do, just no big names. We got Gary and Connolly, Van Jefferson, and Gaither. Van Jefferson, of course, going to be our fast number 3 guy. He's a little overrated on this, I will say, but it doesn't really matter. It's the situation that matters. And because I like to say things without explaining them, by the situation that matters, I mean he had that speed and nobody wanted to keep him, so it's fair for us to go for him. Not that we care about fair, because we've just been trading crazily left and right. As far as the draft goes, I don't think we should have to worry about re-signing players, because I'm hoping to win a Super Bowl before the re-signing period, so I think we're just going to look at what we actually need rather than what we might need in the future. Honestly, it's just a better dev offensive line, and then I suppose for defense, maybe we could think about DT just because it is getting older, I suppose, but Yeah, I mean, this team is just already insane. That first draft was ridiculous. If there's a crazy good-looking running back, maybe we'll go for them because Max Cox was actually... that name, man, he really wasn't that great for us. And he's a really decent-looking running back. It's just he didn't play well. And, you know, there's just certain... Oh, that number. We got to change some of these numbers. Terrible. There's just certain players, I don't know what it is, their build or their traits, they just don't do well. Sometimes we have running backs that are just awful. And, you know, there's pass rushers that, even though they're insane, they're awful. There's pass rushers that are average, and then they turn into beasts that just constantly... I mean, remember, was it the Justin Herbert rebuild? Or not the rebuild, the career sim. That defensive end was killing it, I believe. We trade pick 13 for 19 in a second from the Giants. They end up getting a safety, DeMonche. I think if the running back we have is here, we might draft him. His name is Pierre Swift. He looks really solid, and he could be a dual threat type of back because you can see he has A- stiff arm, decently fast. He's a big fella, and his archetype is elusive, so I'd maybe assume there's elusiveness in there as well. However, I think this guy's the better talent, so I think we're going to go for Evans, and then if we can trade up to 20, we'll take the running back as well. And so far, it seems like it was a pretty good decision. This guy is insane. We could probably end up getting rid of one of the DTs after this season, assuming there is another season, of course. If we win the Super Bowl, I'm out of here. See ya later. But I don't know. You know, we kind of had a magical season. Might have gotten lucky for all we know. We trade 31, 51, and a 7th-round pick for pick 20, which is exactly the value they wanted. Like, we had to add the 7th, otherwise it wouldn't have worked. But yeah, DT was done. Let's take Pierre Swift now, who is... Okay, interesting. Hidden, 74 overall. He is a dual threat back. Okay, this guy actually looked kind of beastly. He doesn't have any catching ability, but yeah, he looks pretty good. Obviously, it's going to come down to the development on who starts over him or Max Cox. If he's star, probably a bad pick from us, but if he's better, then obviously we made the better choice. Ross Younger, center, he looks okay. And then middle linebacker, who... probably isn't a need for us, so if the center's there at pick 3, we'll take him. If he's not, he's, you know, whatever. Which he probably won't be. He is not. We have the middle linebacker. I mean, he's pretty damn fast, but probably not a position of need. Let's just trade down to, like, the late 2nd and grab that Crothers guy. So we trade for pick 64 and 96. Hopefully Crothers is there. He is. Rashard Crothers looks really solid, actually. Could even be hidden. And that's exactly what he is. That, I believe, is going to be a new starting player for us. 6'6", maybe the interior. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's a good pick. And I probably should not have skipped because I do not think we're going to be able to get any of the other guys we have. Actually, we have this guy. I don't know if I want to risk it. Nah, you know, honestly, it's a fantasy style. We're just going to trade all this for next year. I think we have our wide receivers. Going to the draft recap. Some draft class you got there. Mr. Donnell Evans was our first pick, who is a superstar. I am very happy with that. Pierre Swift now. Please be superstar. Please be superstar. I'm very happy with it, okay, right? But I mean, like, please be superstar or better. But, you know, hey, the superstar is pretty cool, man. But yeah, he probably will be the starter, and then Crothers is only star development, but still better than, you know, the normal developments we have rolling right now. Sorry for any of those normal developments that are feeling unwanted, but it is what it is. Is there any? No, there wasn't anyone we cared to have that we missed. We didn't miss anyone. We trade Matthew Ioannidis, Winfield, and a 3rd-round pick for the Texans. 1st-round pick, which is projected number 3 overall. That number 2 DT spot definitely belongs to that superstar DT we just got. I think Matthew is insane, but as far as DTs go, the regression hits soon, and I know Grady Jarrett, ironically, is, you know, he is at that age even further, but he is a higher overall, so he can hit the same just about, but Grady Jarrett's better now, so if he does get that dev up, he will be better in the long run anyways. All right, so we have our new lineup, kind of our new lineup, new left guard, new running back, because the developments do matter in Cox. I mean, I don't care how big it is, man. It's just not working out. Defensively, looking at the linebackers, Simmons, not really playing super well, but The rest of the team looks insane. This defense is, I mean, you can't really get much better than that, honestly. You just can't. All right, we have a few signings, and oh my lord, this is not great. James Daniels is going to be one of our main guys to sign so far. We're going to give him a nice 7-year deal. Must be great playing center, huh? Willie Gay, maybe. I don't know, maybe. But McKinney, I think we're going to give him a 7-year deal. That is massively cheap. And at the end of the day, he could even play starting free safety if it comes down to, you know, a contract situation. And then Willie Gay, 4-year 24 isn't crazy bad. Wow, he's really, whoever made this made him really slow. But I think we're just going to let him go. As far as the other guys go, we're probably going to re-sign Tucker to like a 2-year here. And then I think we'll also sign Michael Dixon. Heads to the postseason, kind of on par for, it is on par for a season just like last year. I'll show you in a second. I get it. Thank you for the morale, man. But 12-4, the Seahawks, they finally come alive. Obviously, I would assume we probably beat them. Yeah, we beat them once, we lost once, but thankfully we won that second time because otherwise they would have the division, they'd have the bye week, and instead of us, you know, potentially making the Super Bowl, it could have been them, but we'll still see because once again, this offense is vastly inconsistent. Swift looks like he could maybe even make X Factor. The yards per carries, you know, weren't great, but decent. Angel Benjamin so close to the 1,000 yards, 10 touchdown mark. Couldn't get it. Claypool, not Bourne. I don't know where I came from with that. Almost 1,000 yards. Van Jefferson, yeah, not really the effect we thought we would get. 2 guys over 100 tackles. Sack totals. Myles Garrett's back on top. Chase Young, decent season, I suppose. The 2 DTs, not bad. Derwin with 5 picks, and then nothing really else to show for. 2 block kicks from Tucker. Missed a total of 4 out of those, what is it, 19 kicks, was it? How many kicks was it? 18 kicks. 2 were blocked, so fair enough. Take a quick look at the awards. Maybe Offensive Rookie of the Year award with our rookie running back, perhaps? It was Swift, Rookie of the Year. Evans, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Looking at the other players, we came close with Myles Garrett, Derwin James, number 2. So a couple award wins, a couple of close award wins. Pretty solid season. I'd like to see the quarterback do a little bit more, though. I can't lie. But here we are going against the 9-7 Atlanta Falcons in the divisional round. We're an 89 overall. They're an 84. We obviously have that advantage. Almost won the Super Bowl last season. We're better this year. Will we see actual results that were better this year, though? Because, of course, we have to at least make the Super Bowl to match it. Going to the end of the game, we are up by 7. We are up by 14. Looking pretty decent. Defense doing a really good job. Right at halftime, it's going to be a score of 28-7. What a score. Yeah, Atlanta's not, I mean, they blew a 28-3 lead. They're not going to win the other side of it. I'm sorry. Okay, Atlanta fans, we made a rebuild recently of you guys. We did well there. I think it's, forgive me, please forgive me. It was there. I had to take it. It really wasn't there. I kind of brought it there. Wow, Levi Owens really well. Brett Hundley, he's still a thing, huh? Okay. Running really just not great for either team. Receiving nothing really spectacular. Myles Garrett showed up big time. Gary and Connolly with a pick. Kicking really solid. I mean, just a good game. Outside of the running game, of course, that was a little iffy. 10-6 Saints with a couple of pretty damn good offensive firepower players. I don't remember their QBs, though. I thought I looked at it recently, and it was like, I thought it was someone really bad, actually. Kirk Cousins. I don't know what overall he would be, but it can't be anything over in like an 80. Going to the end of the game, 7-0. 10-0. Pretty good start to the game, just like last game. Defense still playing, its part. And unfortunately, they do get a score right before half. But start of the second half, we are now up 24-7. Keep it up, fellas. Well, maybe not. Start of the fourth, up 13. Defense is crushing it. And the offense is going to take advantage of it. And it's another 38-14 victory. That's a little strange, actually. Cursed video, perhaps? Swift really not playing super well. Of course, a lot of short yardage situations. Probably. We don't really know the actual situation going on. Chase Young, really good game. Finally, seems like he's been absolutely silent in this video. Tucker with another perfect game, which is nice to see because whether it's his fault or not, we do usually see a lot of blocks from him. Not from him, but like to him, I suppose. Which, of course, we don't know. Like, maybe he's just kicking it too low. I don't know. Soccer style, I guess. Or as they call it, football style, which, I don't know. That's a weird thing to say, I suppose. Looking at DevUps, we did not see one from Swift, but of course, with his Offensive Rookie of the Year award win, very high overall incoming. Defensively now, we see Myles Garrett join the Superstar Development Club, and unfortunately, we do not see that from Mr. Grady Jarrett, who we really need to get his dev up. But outside of that, I mean, this team looks sick. We have some upgrades that should even push us past the 90 overall mark. And as far as, you know, if I keep forgetting, this is a fantasy draft. We're really good. I mean, this is really good for a fantasy draft team. And like we said, 90 overall, 95 defense, looking baller. Going against the Pittsburgh Steelers, another really legendary titan of a matchup, going against the Madden 21 cover athlete himself, Lamar Jackson. That's going to be great. Going to the end of the game, 3 points. Okay, here we go. Field goals for first quarter. We got 3 field goals already. This is looking good. Okay, they did get a touchdown. First half, 23 points. I mean, we're not Atlanta, so we should be safe, right? I'm sorry, Atlanta fans. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry for this. The Super Bowl win. Kind of a little bit of a close, you know, try there by the Steelers, but the rebuild is successful. I would say next time we'll do an offense only, but I don't know if you guys really want to see that. I mean, hell, I don't even know how this video went. I don't know if anyone's ever done something like this. Not like it's some amazing, you know, innovative rebuild series that, you know, is going to shape the face of Madden forever, but you know, it's pretty interesting. I don't really know if there's any other ideas we could really make out of this. Maybe only draft players that are wide receiver or DB. I don't know, like a certain position group. You can only draft players that are 280 pounds or heavier. I don't know, something. Or, you know, too light, too short, tall players, one of the two. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if you have an idea like that. But I thought this was a pretty good idea, and I felt like we'd maybe do well at the start. Maybe it sort of been different if we would have went realistic style where we couldn't. I mean, we didn't go crazy, right? Like, pretty much all of our trades were pretty fair. There was some draft pick trades in the beginning that were, you know, kind of unfair. But as far as trade downs go, they were pretty fair. If anything, we actually lost more than we should have. But it was, you know, might have been a little bit tougher in a realistic rebuild rather than fantasy. But I thought it was a fun one. It was pretty good. It was a little, like I said, a little quicker than I would have thought. That's what she said for sure. Lamar Jackson choked it. The defense squad, I guess, kind of did prove defense wins championships because, I mean, offense was nothing special at all. I mean, you even seen here, Tucker was missing kicks left and right. Of course, the last 2 postseason games, he was pretty good. But throughout this rebuild, Tucker missed kicks. I mean, one season alone, I believe, was more missed kicks than Justin Tucker's had in his entire career, basically, if you consider this postseason. But either way, success rebuild. Like I said, if you have a rebuild challenge, let me know in the comment section below. Usually we reserve Thursdays to normal realistic rebuilds, so if you guys have a preference there, let me know as well. I do have the list here. We could do a Chargers one for Kenneth Murray. Could do a fantasy style for that. Dolphins, we didn't have the other 2 first-round draft picks. All we had was Tua, so we could redo that. We haven't done the Steelers, and I believe the Eagles are the other teams that we would do. So let me know if you have a preference there. Maybe Steelers, perhaps, I guess. Maybe Dolphins, I don't know. Anyways, like I said, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But wait a minute. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new. You know, hey, relax yourselves. Maybe follow the second channel, PKR Plays, maybe Twitter, Jeromepkr, whatever. Anyways, now you are free to leave. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya.